All right, all right, all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, wherever you are in this beautiful world. Welcome to our Friday morning Inner Circle Live session. I'm your host, Ryan Carthage. Hope everybody is doing well today. We had some news, we had some movement. There was some moving and shaking that happened yesterday. So we are going to dive in and get straight to it. So as always, let's turn off all distractions, prepare your minds and your bodies to engage as you guys always do. And for the courtesy of everybody on the call, please ensure that your mic is muted if you're not actively asking a question or making a comment. All right. So we're going to take a look at Forex Factory, get an update on where things landed yesterday with the ECB and the Bank of England. And then we're going to go through the charts. And because there was quite a bit of movement yesterday, we're going to get through kind of as many pairs as we can, just getting updates and seeing what setups are there. So without further ado, let's get to it. And real quick, just drop me one in the chat if you can hear me okay. Perfect. Appreciate it. All right, so bingo. All right, so we're gonna start right here on trade economics. So Euro eases back to 109 after touching 101.3 on Thursday for the first time since April, as investors digest a dovish cue from policymakers at the European Central Bank, despite the body's hawkish stance. The ECB hiked the interest rates by 50 basis points as expected, pushed borrowing costs to its highest level since 2008, flagging one more increase of the same magnitude next month and reaffirming its commitment to battling high inflation. However, the ECB, during the press conference, Christine Lagarde acknowledged that the Eurozone outlook had become less worrisome for growth and inflation, right? So the tone is starting to change, right? It's not looking as bad as they made it seem, right? Even though they did go with the 50 basis points and they will have another rate increase next month, things aren't as bad as we thought they were, right? Elsewhere, the Bank of England raises rates for the 10th time, but suggested its tightening cycle might be coming to an end, right? So we watched that happen yesterday, where we saw the initial bullish push and then things turned around. And the reason being is this statement here, right? A tightening cycle might be coming to an end. So that's what changed the sentiment from bullish to somewhat of a dovish tone in that rate statement. All right. And then we know Fed Chair Powell discussed at the news conference the 25 basis point hike, that the disinflationary process in the United States appear to be underway, right? So all tones turning dovish across your major central banks. So we saw some interesting action yesterday. We'll dive into the chart and see what that was. Back to the home page. Maybe. What's happening here? 1 second, everybody. Let's try this. There we go. All right. Some outlook for today, right? Some outlook for today. U.S. economy likely created 185,000 jobs in January, the least since December 2020, nearly matching the 183,000 monthly average between 2010 and 2019. Leisure and hospitality probably adding the most jobs at 36,000, with striking university workers in California returning to work, further boosting that number. All right. So they're expecting, right, this jobs number that comes out today, the non-farm payroll, to show another decline, right? To show another decline. So it'd be interesting to see how that number comes out to see if things continue to move as expected. And along with annual pay growth, the growth rate likely softening to 4.3% of the lowest since August 2021. The January report still expected to continue to show a tight labor market. Still, there are signs that hiring is slowing or slowly normalizing after the pandemic shock. Some companies prepare for economic slowdown, and the tech layoffs continue. Right, you still got layoffs coming from Facebook, you still got layoffs coming from Google, you still got layoffs coming from Salesforce. Right, some of your larger tech companies are still decreasing their workforce, right? So things to keep an eye on. But this number is expected to come out a little softer than it was last month. So that's going to be big. That's where all eyes are pointed today. European shares down from over 9-month highs on Friday. In the busy week as investors digest stronger than expected PPI numbers coming out of the Eurozone, and they await the U.S. jobs report, right? You also had disappointing earnings from Amazon, Apple, Alphabet, which is Google. And so that sentiment is prompting investors to reassess the sustainability of the recent market rally, right? So we could start seeing some reversals in the market. All right. So that's it from a fundamental perspective. Over to the calendar, right? We see these are the reports that came out yesterday. And looking forward to this jobs report coming out today, right? Non-farm employment change. The estimate is 193. So if it does come out at 185, we definitely could see more rallies to continue there. If it comes out at that number or above, then we could see the dollar rise a little bit. All right, so we'll watch that to see what happens. You also got your unemployment rate coming out today, and your ISM services PMI number coming out today as well. So still, it'll be a busy close to the week early this morning. So we will monitor things as they go. All right. Any questions from a fundamental perspective? No? All right. Cool deal. Let's hop over to the charts to take a look at the dollar first. We talked about yesterday, right? The dollar being in this zone, this 118, 127 zone. And we're looking to see as those news reports came out and as things transpired, right? What happened? We got this push to the upside, right? We got this push to the upside. We stalled, and now we're getting a little bit of a pullback now. So the question is going to be, does this daily level hold, right? Do we come back and retest this daily level and then continue pressing to the upside, right? We're in an 80-20 zone here on the 4. Okay, so push down into that 118, 127 zone. So if this daily level holds, or even if price presses down to this next daily level, but is not able to break it and stays above, oh, I can't grab it, but anywho, if it presses down, right, we could be in for, and these levels continue to hold, right? Could be in for double bottom action if we come down to that daily level at 12,624 and see a push to the upside. Now, if we break this weekly support level, right, we'll be in for price to continue pressing to the downside. So these are the levels that we're going to continue to watch throughout the day today as the non-farm payroll number comes out at 8:30, right? So it'll be interesting to see how the market moves there. Okay. That's what we're watching from a daily, from a 4-hour perspective on the dollar. Okay. So pullback, and then we'll see if we get a continuation to the upside. If we do, those dollar crosses, which we'll take a look at, could see some more downward pressure, and the dollar pairs could see some more upward movement. So that's the dollar index. Let's take a look at the dollar Swissy. On this dollar Swiss, we had this move that occurred yesterday. We did hit that D extension, and then price reversed and started making its way back to the upside, similar to that the dollar index, right? Broke back above these key levels. Now we just want to see if those levels hold. If they do, we can see price continue to rise to the upside. All right, let's bounce back to the daily, get a more broad view, right? This is where we sit on the daily time frame on this dollar Swissy, right? 8.6 retracement level. When we zoom in, right, this is the level that we broke back above. Not able to close below this monthly support. Now we got some indecision. So we could be in for price to start trying to make its way back to the upside here. All right. So we'll watch this closely to see how things transpire throughout the day. If we come down to the 4, we had talked about previously, actually it was on the daily. Let's go back. On the daily time frame, if we run a sub-fib from the top to the bottom, like so, you also got an 80-20 scenario here. So we got some confluence at this 8.6 retracement level, right? That we could be in for this reversal back to the upside. It's a longer term swing trade, right? Opportunity for this to really move. And if it does get going, breaking above these current daily levels, right? Could be in for a decent move to the upside if the dollar makes that move higher. All right. So that is the dollar Swissy on the daily. Come down to the 4. And we'll run the fib off the high. Here we got some we got a little bit of back and forth, right? Because we already got a 382, right? And we're just stalling at these key levels here now, right? So if we break back above the cloud on the 4, we could be in for this ride to the upside. So be patient here and allow this to see what happens after those non-farm payroll numbers come out. All right, coming down to the 1 hour time frame. Here, we'll zoom in just a little bit more. And this is the active fib here on the 1 hour, right? That we looked at the beginning, right? We had that shallow retracement, we pushed down, we did hit the D extension. Now price is trying to move to the upside. Okay. This is technically the active fib here. We're still inside that A boundary, 8.6 retracement, price is pressing down. We could see some consolidation until 8:30. All right, so we'll watch that closely to see what happens there. But that's a dollar Swiss. And if we're able to break above this cloud, right, look for that bullish action. Okay, look for that bullish action. So I just ran the fib off the low. And this is another way we can look at this, is here. All right, 80-20, actually no. They had a wick down to that 382. So we'll see if we get a deeper push to retest that daily level, right? If it does, it'll give us a 50% retracement, just shy of that 618. So if we get price to push down like that with that non-farm payroll number, then see if we get a reversal to break that cloud. Okay. You guys follow me on this? Maybe. All right. Cool deal. So that's what we're looking for there on the dollar Swiss, right? Push down and then see if we get price to push up to break the cloud. I want to take a look at this Aussie CAD real quick. Posted this in the Discord yesterday. And we're looking for, we went from the 15 to the 5, right? And whoops, 1 second. Yep. So right here, right? Fib's coming to the downside here. Like so, right? We had this AB boundary. And we're looking for, we had this 80-20 scenario playing here, right? So before this fib came in, we had this fib here. And we're looking at this 80-20 scenario to play out, right? So we took that fib, came down to the 5. Price pushed a little bit lower, right? Price pushed a little bit lower, okay, and wick that D extension, but we dropped the cloud back on. We're waiting on that cloud break. And after that D extension got hit, we got the cloud break here, right? So push deeper into that, through that 118 to 127 zone, gave us that D extension hit, but then price turned over, right? We got a break of the cloud here and now started making its way back to the upside. All right. So if we come back to the 15, right, what we'll see here is we're trying to break the cloud now, right? We got that TK crossover here, got a bullish cloud ahead. We did close above. Now we're pulling back. All right. Now we're pulling back. So if we run those fibs again off the high, right, this was a fresh AB boundary. And now we're getting this push to the upside. All right. So looking at this one here, we're looking for price to continue moving higher. We got the cloud break. We're getting a pullback now. So just to look for a little bit of confluence here, I want to run a fib off the low, right? And we got a 50% retracement and we're pushing. So this is just a pullback through this phase. So we're looking for price to turn over, right? And start making its way back to the upside at some point here. Okay. So let's keep our eyes on this one, right? And we'll look for a price to turn over and push higher on this Aussie CAD. All right. Potentially coming back and retesting this daily level here at 94,444. Okay. Let me see something here. It's 15 pips there. So this is actually what I'm going to do. We got the cloud break and we're getting the pullback now. We're starting to stall here. So this is a trade that I am going to take. And we're going to place a stop outside the A. So this is what this is going to look like. That's my stop loss there. And entry is going to be there. So give me 1 second, transfer over to my terminal. All right. So this is my terminal here, and I am looking to take this trade. So we will new order. Stop loss is going to be 0.94020. 2 cents. Yes. Market execution. And my take profit will be at that daily level. So 94444. All right. There we go. So we'll monitor this. We'll monitor this and see how it goes. All right. So back to the chart. Let's see. All right. So we're in that trade. We'll monitor it as it moves. Okay. Monitor as it moves. It's about a 2-to-1 risk to reward scenario there. So sweet. One second, everybody. All right. Got the Aussie CAD. Cool. Let's take a look at the Aussie dollar. On this Aussie dollar, we've been hovering at this B boundary, right? We got a 236 retracement, kind of got a double top scenario here, and we push back down to this daily level, and we're just hovering at it right now. So going to be dependent on that non-farm payroll number. Let's see what happens there. As we move down through the time frames, we got an 80-20 scenario here on the 4. Not able to get to that D extension there. Okay, not able to get to the D extension. So if we're able to push below this daily level, right, we could be in for that movement to continue moving down. All right. So we'll monitor this as that non-farm payroll number comes out and see if we're able to get that continued movement there. On the 1, right, we did get cloud breaks. Zoom out here a little bit. We got a fresh AB boundary. Okay. We did get a cloud break here, right? We broke it here, came back and retested. Now we're hovering sideways. Bullish cloud ahead, TK crossover. So the thing that I'd be looking for here is this lagging span, right? Waiting for the news to come out, right? This will be a little bit of a later move, but waiting for this lagging span to break through the cloud, right? We already have it below price, but if we get that lagging span to break through cloud, that'll be the last piece of confirmation for me of this bearish move. Okay, so that could not happen until after that non-farm payroll number comes out. So I'm going to be patient on this one and wait for that lagging span to break through price here. We got all the other confirmations here: bullish cloud ahead, TK crossover, price broke the cloud. But now we're looking for this lagging span to break through as an additional form of confirmation. So it'll allow us to be a little bit more patient here and and let this develop just a little bit more to solidify this close below this daily level. If we get that, then that's an opportunity for that short opportunity there. All right. So that's what I'm looking for on the Aussie dollar. Any questions here? No. All right, cool deal. Then a couple I wanted to get updates on real quick as they've kind of come into some key levels here. This pound yen, right? Been staying hands off. We've pressed down, coming into the bottom of this range here, right? And we're starting to get a little bit of indecision on the daily time frame. On the 4, right, we're still hovering in this 80-20 zone, right? Push back down to that 118 level, and we're just hovering sideways right now. Just hovering sideways. So I want to see if we're able to get some bullish action to come out of this, right? So as we move down to the 1 hour, you got an 80-20 scenario here with a nice bullish push here, right? So a couple ways to look at this, right? Coming out of the top of that range, if you're using your trend lines, I'll drop the cloud on in a second, but if you're using your trend lines, right, as that point of confirmation, then we'll see if we got a trend line break here. All right. Trend line's coming down like so. Right. The goal of the trend line again is to get as close to the lowest point as possible without cutting off any wicks or bodies. Right. And so this trend line, this inner trend line would have come like this. Boom. That's your trend line break. Right. We talk about bullish, getting a nice bullish break of the trend line or of the cloud. This is a nice bullish candle break of the trend line. Right. So that's what that looks like when you're looking at price action. Okay. So you got the nice bullish push there. Break of the trend line. All right. So that's if you use your trend lines as that confirmation. We'll pull them out. 80-20 scenario there. So what I want to do is we can drop the cloud. Actually, let's drop down to the 15. We want to copy this 1 hour fib here. Copy the 1 hour fib. We'll go down to the 15 and look at this move. Okay, so we'll link that down to our 15-minute. Oops. Link that down to the 15. That's what it looks like there. Okay. So using the cloud as that confirmation, right? We're just pressing sideways here. Okay. Just pressing sideways here. Put that out. All right. So right, sideways push, we're pulling back. We got bullish cloud ahead, right? So I want to see price come down and retest this cloud a little bit, right? Because we didn't get a nice bullish break of that cloud. And we just showed that example, right? On the 1 hour. This was the break of the trend line, but I want to see that same bullish push on the cloud. So if we get this pullback into the cloud to retest this daily level here, right, and that level holds, that'll be the confirmation here, and we get a push back to the upside in a bullish fashion. That'll be the confirmation on the cloud for an entry here, right? So pulling back now, be patient on this one, and wait for a nice clean break of the cloud here after this pullback is complete. All right, so this is one that I want to keep our eyes on. Nice opportunity. These yen crosses move pretty well once they get moving. So 80-20 scenario, back to that 382, you're looking at 172 pips. All right. So that would be our TP1 and TP2 levels here. All right. So TP1 would be here. TP1 there, TP2 at that 618. All right. So again, waiting on price to pull back here and give us a firm break of the cloud, potentially retest this daily support level, to give us some additional confirmation that this level will hold and we'll get a move to the upside there. All right. So that's another setup that we will monitor. All right. Oops. I'm going to post this one in the Discord also, just so the team can have it. All right, so TP2 and our TP1. Okay. And there we go. Okay. I'm looking for price, whoops, to make its way to the upside. All right, cool deal. So that's the pound yen potential opportunity for us there. Okay. Now let's look at this euro dollar. We talked about this one yesterday, looking to see if this daily level held. Right, so we'll come to the 4. We wanted to see, would this daily level hold as a pullback as we broke through it on the strong push previous day, right, on Wednesday. That daily level didn't hold. So depending on how this non-farm payroll number comes out, we're gonna either see price press back above this daily level and continue rising higher, right? Or this daily level is going to hold, and this is going to serve as a retest for a continued move to the downside. Okay, so we want to watch this closely as those non-farm payroll numbers come out, and that'll give us a good indication on what's going to happen here, right? If we stay below this level, we'll look for some continued movement to the downside in this euro dollar pair. We come down to the 1 and we see that push down and break below, right? We got 80-20 scenario here as well. This push down yesterday, right? We got kind of a sideways push through the cloud, and we're coming back and retesting now. Okay, so only 1 hour, similar to what was that? The Aussie dollar, right? We got a bullish cloud ahead. We got our TK crossover, kind of moving sideways now. We want to see if this lagging span is able to push down and break through the cloud, right? That'll give us some additional confirmation there of this move down. Okay. So that's what I'm waiting for here. And again, with non-farm payroll at 8:30, we'll get confirmation if this daily level is going to hold as a retest. And if we get this move to the downside, right? And at that time, we'll also probably see this lagging span making its way through price as well. All right. So that's what I'm looking for here on the euro dollar. We got an 80-20 scenario here on the 1 hour as well. All right. So got some setting up in some key areas, right? We got price action. So if you're not in this already to the downside, right, we'll wait for those additional confirmation points for that entry short. Okay. So that is the euro dollar. Let's keep moving. Let's see. This euro Aussie. We've been watching this one throughout the week, right? On this move to the downside, we got a 618 retracement, and we're trying to make our way to the upside. All right, trying to make our way to the upside. So we'll see if we get this continued ride, getting back to that daily level. We come down to the 1, right, where we, whoops, should be a 1 hour, right, where we had this AB boundary in this 80-20 scenario, right? And we've been watching this one all week. Shallow retracement 118-127 zone. We did not push down to get to that D extension. We finally were able to break through this week. We got a pullback, right? That came yesterday, right? And now we're pushing back to the upside, right? So 382 is here, right? Hopefully some folks stayed in this. I know some got stopped out in profit, which is cool. This was a re-entry opportunity yesterday, and we're pushing back to the upside, right? Headed to that 382 and potentially higher, right? We could get to that 157.484 at some point, right? But this one is still on the move to the upside. So that's the thing about these swing trades, right? Managing your stop loss and how you manage that allows you these longer term trade opportunities, right? So if you keep that stop wide and just allow that trade to float, right? This pullback here wouldn't have stopped us out, and we would have allowed price to continue riding to the upside, right? We call that giving the trade room to breathe, right? So pressing to the upside, headed to 382. Now, right, some of us brought that stop loss into profit, which is cool, right? We got stopped out in profit. That's all good. We made money, right? So many ways to do it. And as you continue going through this exploratory phase, you'll be able to identify better how you prefer to manage your trades, right? But as you see, as you allow those trades to swing, right, it'll move in our favor. So this one is on the go. Got another 71 pips to that TP1. All right. So that's the Euro Aussie. Let's look at this CAD Swiss. This is one we've been monitoring for quite some time, right? We're hovering at this B boundary zone on the daily time frame. And we said, we'll see if price pushes back down to this weekly support level, give us 3 or 4 touches at this low, and then see if we get a push back to the upside. We're still pressing sideways there. All right, so this is just an update on this particular pair. Come down to the 4, right? And we see on the 4 hour, we're sitting at a 618 retracement level, right? We tried to push up, we're pulling back again, right? So we'll see if price is ready to continue making this move to the upside here, right? But we got a nice deep retracement to that 618 level. Okay. Come down to the 1. And you see here, struggling to break through the cloud, right? On the 1, we got an 8-6 retracement. Okay. Started to move up. Okay. But we haven't been able to break that cloud yet. All right. So we got a strong level of resistance right here at this 50% retracement level, right? And you see prices just struggling to break through that zone, right? You also see the cloud ahead is also flattened out, right? So that kind of confirms this level as a resistance level, right? When you see the cloud go flat, it shows a level of resistance. And you see, when you look back, you see this was support, this was resistance, this was resistance, right? So in these areas, you see that happen where the cloud goes flat, you know you got a level of resistance and you want to see that cloud start to shift. So be patient on this one, right? If you're in this swing trade to the upside, continue to allow it to float, allow it to breathe, right? If you're not in this one, wait on that cloud break, right? Be patient and allow the price action to tell us what it's going to do. Okay. So that's where we sit on the CAD Swiss. And let's look at the CAD yen. CAD yen daily time frame. We got an 80-20 scenario happening. We're pressing down now, right? And we want to see if this daily level continues to hold, right? See if this daily level continues to hold. We could be coming back just to retest this bullish candle here, right? Which is a possibility. We'll drop down to lower time frames and see what's happening. But from a daily time frame perspective, 80-20 scenario, right? Now it's just a matter of when is price ready to turn over and make its way to the upside. All right. So as you drop down through the time frames, come down to the 4. Right. On the 4, we already got a deep retracement in this consolidation that price has been making. Right. So it's a little back and forth happening on the fibs as we move through the time frames. Right. So we want to see price turn over and start making its way to the upside. Right. But that price action is similar to all of the yen crosses. Right. So it's not unfamiliar. But here on the 1, right, we're pressing down into this 50% retracement zone. Right. I ran the fib off the low, pressing down into this 50% retracement zone. Right. So we want to be patient and allow price to start to turn over, but we're starting to come into our sweet spot. Right. So if we see price make its way a little bit deeper into the zone, right, and then give us our confirmation to the upside, that'll be an opportunity for us here, right, on the deep retracement play. So if we drop our cloud on, right, you see cloud still moving to the downside. Still got a nice gap here between price and the cloud. So could see this drift a little lower still, right? So just keep our eyes on this as it presses down into our sweet spot, and then we'll see if we get that action and that reversal to the upside. All right. So one to watch here for a deep retracement play. Okay. As we come down, right, you see more confirmation here, right? Price just pressing down, likely gets this D extension on the 15, and then we'll see if we get that shift. Okay. So that is the CAD yen, definitely one that we want to keep our eyes on. As we move through the day, but also, and we'll look at it again tomorrow at our weekly ritual in preparation for next week. All right. So that is that. Any questions on any of the pairs that I've covered so far? No? All right, cool deal. Let's take a look at this pound Aussie. So it's been breaking down, right? Broke below this daily level, We're getting a push back to the upside right now, right? So the price is starting to push back up. Price starting to push back up. back above this daily level. So we'll see what happens. We could just be coming back to retest these levels that we broke. So we'll continue to monitor that to see. We do know that we got this head and shoulders pattern that's working on playing itself out, right? Still got ways to go to the downside. So we'll look for this retest and then see if price continues moving to the downside there. We come down to the 4. We've got that 382 push, right? Push down. Now we're coming back to potentially retest these previous lower time frame support levels. Okay. So look for price to reverse back down. Down on the 1, we didn't get a 382 on the 1 hour, right? So this will be interesting to see how price moves here, right? I don't foresee price pushing back and giving us a deeper retracement just because of the news yesterday with the pound, right? So what I'd be looking for is just price to pull back and give us a high price and another opportunity to get short, right? So looking for price potentially even to come back up and retest this daily level at 174.564 as a retest, and then that'll give us an opportunity then to get back short, right? And ride this down to that D extension on that head and shoulders fib, the extension, all right, which is in line with this here at 171. Okay, so looking for another press to the upside here on that pound Aussie, and then that continuation to the downside. Okay, that is the pound Aussie. Let's go to look at that pound NZD. All right, the pound NZD. This is that move to the downside. Didn't break the cloud like we're looking forward to on the lower time frames, and continue to press to the downside through the day yesterday, right? And now we're getting a reversal. We broke below this daily level, but we're trying to press back up above, and we got some indecision here. All right, so we dropped down to the 1. And this could be that retest, right? We talked about it breaking below the support level, breaking out of this range that it's been in, for quite some time, right? And this was that break. So now we want to see through these levels, are we able to turn over and press back below, right? So we're going to watch this one closely to see what happens. No trade right now, but just monitoring this price action on the break and retest, right? This is that zone that we're sitting in, right? This is that zone. Price broke out to the bottom, to the downside. We're coming back and we're retesting now. So we'll see if price turns back over and starts to make its way lower. All right. Again, these pound pairs, I don't foresee price pushing to the upside unless something drastic changes outside of potentially that pound yen. But looking at these to continue this move to the downside here. All right. So we'll watch that one as well on that retest to see if price turns over and presses back down to the downside. Okay. That's the pound NZD. Take a look at this NZD dollar. Come back to the daily. All right, we got this fresh AB boundary, and we've just been pressing sideways on the daily time frame, right? At this daily level of resistance, just been hovering. So we want to see, do we start to break down, or are we able to push above and get to this 118 and 127 zone and potentially continue right higher, right? So if the dollar, if this non-farm payroll numbers come out ahead of expectation, right, higher, we could see the dollar rise, right? If they come out lower or even at expectation, right, we could see the dollar retrace a little bit. So we could see this start to make its way to the upside there. All right, so drop down to the 4. On the 4, we got this 80-20 scenario still hovering around. right? So fresh B boundary on the daily time frame, 80-20 scenario on the 4-hour time frame, right? So starting to get some confluence here, and we got this daily level that we've been playing at, right? So we want to continue to monitor these dollar pairs and dollar crosses because they're all still at key levels, right? And the news throughout the week hasn't changed that, right? They're still sitting in these zones. So on this one, we got a bullish cloud ahead. We're hovering at the cloud right now, but we got an 80-20 scenario here on the 4. Okay. So we want to watch this one closely. We drop down to the 1. We zoom out, right? We got a 382 push, right? Just shy of the 50% retracement. But again, we haven't been able to break above this daily level. We got that double top action happening there. Okay. Trying to break through the cloud here. Still got a bullish cloud ahead. So on this 1 hour, we want to see this cloud twist, right? We want to see this turn over and start pressing down. We got our TK crossover. So one of the confirmation points here, one of the confirmation points right here, right? So now we want to wait on the rest of them on the 1 hour, but I'm looking potentially go short here, right? As long as price stays below this daily level, right? And we get that this Kumo twist, right? I'm looking for a short opportunity. We got a fresh B boundary on the daily time frame and an 80-20 on the 4. Okay. So if we get these confirmations on the 1 hour time frame, I'm looking for shorts on this NZD dollar, at least back to this daily level at 63,180, but potentially could make its way lower than that. All right. So that's 149 pips more price is right now, 150 pips to the downside, right? So that'd be a beautiful opportunity if we get those confirmations. Okay. So that's where I am on the NZD dollar, looking for short setup, see what happens after the news comes out. Okay. Any questions here? No? Okay, cool deal. And let's bounce back to this pound yen. I want to take a look at it real quick before we wrap things up. All right, still making that retracement, to the downside. All right, so we'll watch this one closely here. We'll watch this one closely here on this retracement. Okay, still moving there. And do you guys have any pairs that you have your eyes on? That's all I have for this morning as far as pairs that I'm watching. Do you guys have your eyes on any pairs that you want me to take a look at? Gold. That's on the 5. Beautiful move. Beautiful move, right? Didn't push into that 118, 127 zone like we talked about the other day. Or was this yesterday? I think it was yesterday. Didn't push into that 118, 127 zone, just broke down, right? Beautiful move to the downside. So now you're sitting at on your 15. Let's come here. Take that out. Maybe. Give me 1 second, everybody. All right, so let's run this fib to the upside. There we go. All right, so that's our AB boundary on the 15. Okay, so deep retracement, right? Wait for that cloud confirmation to see if you get it's trying to twist. We'll see. Still bearish ahead, right? So wait for your confirmations here, and you could be in for this move back to the upside off this deep retracement, right? So we'll see if you get a move back up here. Okay, so that's on your 15-minute deep retracement opportunity there. Now let's come back just from a broader range just to see confirm where we are. That could just be a pullback for us. Okay. All right. So check this out. All right. That could be a pullback. So on your daily time frame, right? 80-20 scenario, you pushed up to that just shy of that 118 level. Strong bearish move. We know the market likes to take back 50% of those moves. Right. So we'll see if we get this pullback. So that could be that pullback on that lower time frame, right? See if we get some action like that, and then we could be in for this continuation down at least to this weekly level at 1879. All right, so let's drop to the 4. All right, a little bit of confirmation here. We did push to get to that D extension, right? So we got a new fib that'll pop in at some point that will look like this. Bang. Right? That's your new fib. On your 4, you've broke this strong bearish candle, broke the cloud, right? So now we look for this pullback. Now we look for this pullback, retest the cloud, and then see if we get continuation to the downside here, right? So that's your fresh AB boundary. Didn't get to that 382 yet. Look for a pullback here, okay? So as we come down to the 1, as we come down to the 1, okay, we'll run our fib off the low. Oops. So choppy, choppy, choppy. Bang, there we go. All right, 80-20 scenario here on the 1. All right, so we got some confirmation of potential short opportunities here. Right, so we could be headed down, like I said, to this 1879 level. Look for a pullback here. Strong bearish move. Look for a pullback to retest that cloud. Right, so you're in your 80-20 scenario, or if you don't want to play that retracement, right, on that 15, wait for that high price. Okay, wait for that high price. Because you got 80-20 scenario here, right? You got fresh AB boundary on the 4, B boundary on the daily time frame. So let's look for a pullback and then see if we get opportunity to get short, right? We got the bearish cloud ahead. We've broken through the cloud on the 4, and we've broken through on the 1. Started to push sideways here, so we'd love to see a high price cloud hold or even this daily level, right? Retest this daily level and that to hold, and then give us an opportunity to get short. All right, so now coming back to that 15 and looking at this move here, right? We had that fib coming to the upside. That would have been like this, right? Would have been something like that. Deep retracement. Look for it to break the cloud, give you a high price, right? Or, right, we can run our fib from the top to the bottom and look at it from this perspective. Boom, 80-20 scenario, right? So that's the play. 80-20 scenario, looking for that high price, and then that'll give you opportunity to get back short, right? So wait for that cloud break. Wait for that cloud break. That's the move right there. All right. What you seeing on that, Reese? You seeing something similar? Something different? Same thing. That cool deal. Good work. Good work. Good work. All right, let's take a look at this pound CAD, and then we will wrap it up there. So, right, continue that move to the downside. Strong push. Didn't get to that 382. Gave us a retracement. pressing down. We close back below this daily level, coming back to retest right now. All right. Come down to the 4. And you see it clean, right? Breaks and retest, right? Then it talks about all the time, right? Break, pull back. This was a level of support, retested. This was a level of support, right? Look. Go here, all right? This was a level of support, came back to retest. This was a level of support. Whoops. This was level of support, came back to retest. Level of support, came back to retest. Level of support, coming back to retest, right? So broke back below that level. So now we'll see, right? Does that level hold, right? Support, now resistance, and see if we turn over and continue making that move to the downside. All right, so that's on the 4. Come down to the 1, right? You already got a 382, broke below that key level. Broke below that key level, right? Talk about this retest here as a strong wick candle, but push down, retest, see if we get this continuation to the downside, right? Talked about that yesterday. Talked about that retest yesterday. So that's what I'm looking for here. Retest of this level and retest of the cloud as well, right? Retest of the cloud as well, and then move down, right? So as long as this daily level holds, and again with these pound pairs outside of that pound yen, looking for them continue short. All right. So wait on that level to hold, right? If you trade break and retest, here's your break and retest. Break, retest, continuation short, right? So that'll be a decent move to the downside. If it doesn't happen today, right? Could see it through next week. It's 300 pips to the next level of support, right? 300 pips to the next level of support. So that's the opportunity there, right? So we come back to the daily time frame, right? Just to give us some context here. We haven't gotten the 382. That daily support is a 382, right? So from where price is to the 382, which we like to take these moves to safely, you got 300 pips to the downside, right? So wait for that break and retest, and then we'll look for that short opportunity there. Back to that 382. All right. Come down to your 15. Let's see what it looks like here. Let's see. Fib off the high. Yeah, it's going to bring us all the way through. Bang, right? So this is your 80-20. Oh, this works perfectly, right? Bingo. Had an 80-20 scenario here. Beautiful move to the upside. Daily resistance in line with the 618 retracement on the 15. That gives us some additional confirmation right there. All right. So just off of this 15-minute fib, right? You got your 80-20 scenario playing out beautifully. Now we're looking at 618 deep retracement. Bang. Place your stop outside the 8 at 73 pips, right? D extension, 235. I'll take that risk to reward all day long. All day long. All right. So that's the pound cat. That's the pound cat. That's the move we're looking at right there. Questions here? Make sense, Malcolm? What are you seeing? Cool. All right. Any questions on anything that we covered this morning? Got some opportunities out here, man. Some good price action happened yesterday. Prices are coming into some key levels, right? Continue watching those dollar pairs. We could be in for some nice movement, right? This pound CAD is a good one. The pound yen, also an opportunity to get long here potentially. All right. So we'll be back at it tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. 7 a.m. for our weekly ritual, right? Get prepared for the upcoming week. So again, be patient, allow your confirmations to be met, good people. And until tomorrow morning, you guys have an awesome Friday. Non-Farm Payroll coming out at 8:30. Keep your eyes peeled. We'll talk to you soon. Peace.